Hello everyone, this is Mr. Simple Majority. Welcome to BuildCraft Tutorial 3. First I want to start by apologizing for the amount of time it's taken me to get through the rest of this tutorial series. Life has been incredibly busy and it has been hard to get to anything. In fact, just getting these videos have been finished was a real pain, as I've had computer failures and then I've had video issues. I actually recorded this tutorial last week, but I forgot to turn the sound up and I had to bail on it. So let's go and get started. Last tutorial we talked about fuel production, pumps, refineries, and moving fuel around. This tutorial is about the machinery. And what better place to start than with this guy? Now I have NEI like pretty much everybody else in the world, but if you take a look at my NEI list, it's 9 pages and it's really scattered. So, to make things simpler, we're just simply going to use the first machine, which is an automatic crafting table. What's nice about this is, you see I can close it off and open it up, and the items aren't ejecting out. This is because it can be automated. And to make it, you're going to need 4 wood gears, and then a standard wood crafting table in the center. Now to use it, I said it can be automated. You could set up little assembly lines like I got right here. Let's turn that music down, or sound down. Get that turned completely off. There we go. So you can automate a little craft assembly line here to make whatever items you want. Now I did something simple. We have right here wood. And the first automated crafting table is going to take that wood, turn it into planks. And then from the planks will come sticks, and finally, you guessed it, from sticks we're going to make ladders, and then it's going to go to that treasure chest. Now each crafting table will require a wood pipe and a redstone engine to pull the items out. If you don't do this, what will happen is the items will just build up, and eventually the inventory gets full and it starts ejecting items out. So we'll just power this up and show you how it works real quick. So the engine's going to pull out the first piece of wood, and it's going to go on into the crafting table. And you can see in here it's going to say 2 and then drops back to 1. So the item you place in will never disappear. It's just like a template or a schematic for the rest. And you can see the wood now is passing into the table. And once again, now we're actually creating our sticks. And out come the sticks. And you can see it immediately fills up, but we're still missing 3, so it can't complete. And now we have 3, and out comes our wood ladders. This is a great little system. And you can make it as complex, as detailed as you want, or as simple as you want. I decided to keep it really simple. So that's the automated crafting table, and that's going to be kind of our guide through the rest of the tutorials. So the next item we're going to make is everybody's favorite item. But before we can make it, we need to make something called a landmark. This is going to be instrumental with this section of the mod. And to make it, you're simply going to need a redstone torch and lapis lazuli to make one landmark. You don't need to have a great deal of these on hand. However, you do need to have enough because some of the machines actually do require it. To use them, you simply place it on the ground. And if you're only going to go a short distance, you can just kind of walk along the line here. Now we're on a nice flat road, so it makes it easy for me just to run a straight line. But in normal roads, you're going to have mountains and valleys, and it can be easy to lose track of your line. So to help you, if you take a redstone and play a torch and just place it down, you're going to see these blue lines. And these blue lines are guidelines, and they actually go out 64 blocks in distance. Now when you get out here to the end, you can place a marker here, but not here. This is the last block in the line. So if we place it here, you're going to see the line turns red. Now, we can go out from that marker, but we're just going to go back to keep it simple. You notice though, the blue line is completely gone on this side. That's because this has already been defined. We'll just come out to about here. We're going to place another one. Now as soon as we right click on the landmark, you're going to notice instead of it being just stopping here, it actually forms our rectangle. And that's because you only need 3 markers to define it. Now, this is what we call a 2D plane. Some areas, some objects, you're going to actually need to define a three-dimensional area. To do that, simply build up some blocks. I like to use dirt. Shift click or shift and walk out on the edge. Oops. And place a landmark. Landmarks can be placed sideways or upside down. And simply right click. And now you can see we have a three-dimensional area. Some of the items that we're going to build and be using will require three-dimensional areas. And just to tidy it up, simply remove all the blocks up to the one that's holding the landmark. So, to get started, we're going to talk about, to continue and actually start using these, we're going to talk about the first thing, everybody's favorite item, the quarry. To make the quarry, this is actually a pretty expensive process. You're going to need 2 diamond gears, a diamond pickaxe, 2 gold gears, 3 iron gears, and 1 redstone. Yes, I said 2 diamond gears. That's 8 diamonds per gear, and a diamond pickaxe. It must be an unused diamond pickaxe. That's pretty expensive little item to be making. The gold gears, once again, pretty expensive, but this is well worth it. Now when you place a quarry like I have here, it immediately defines a 9 by 9 area. This is if you don't use landmarks. And this is good for getting started, but eventually you might want to build a bigger area. And you can see I've already, with the landmarks, I've already defined a larger area for the quarry. Now, when you place the quarry, it's immediately going to build the frame. You don't need a three-dimensional area because the quarry has its own height already set for its drill. And you notice as I'm running around here, I'm actually picking up my landmarks. This is why you don't need to keep very many on hand. Now, how does the quarry work? Well, over here I have a little demonstration. I've got 2 combustion engines, and I'm going to go ahead and supply the fuel to them now while I'm going through the talk. I have a power switch connected to red power wire, which is feeding these 2 blocks right here to activate the engines when it's time. We have an empty treasure chest in a cobblestone pipe. You do not need a wood pipe to extract from the quarry. It'll automatically dump into a pipe, but only a BuildCraft pipe. You cannot hook up red power pipes, nor can you hook a treasure chest straight up to it. You must have a space. So we're starting to get our fuel into our lines. We'll go ahead and turn our engines on. So you can see immediately once we turn it on, instead of a frame being built, actually this little guy here is going around clearing out the area. The frame starts right here at the space bar. Anything within this area is going to get cleared out first. Once it's cleared, you can see that the laser has begun its work. It's actually constructing the frame for the quarry. Now, where the quarry starts is actually the block I'm pointing at right now. Well, not right there. Actually, it starts, I think, in this corner. But the idea is that this frame is a barrier. I like to build mine one step up because you can see I can jump easily over this frame. And this is just a way to keep me from accidentally jumping over and into my quarry. Now, in the flat world, we're about 5 meters above, or 5 blocks above the or 4 blocks above bedrock. So this isn't going to go very far down. But you can imagine in a world that you're some 70 layers up and you're digging down, that's a deep hole. That will kill you at the end. So, the frame is still being built. It's almost complete. You see, it's going to actually build this frame completely up and around. And we're just going to let it sit for a minute while it does that. Now, I could have started this earlier and had this frame all built up, but I did want you to see what the building laser will do. Oops. What the building laser will do whenever there's objects within the quarry zone. It used to be, actually in BuildCraft 2.2, this is BuildCraft 3.0. Now 2.2, it's a little different. The frame just gets assembled magically. You can see the frames are starting to lock into place. You can see actually there's the mining drill over there. But in 2.2, this whole thing would just be built, and then this mining drill clears out the area. And now we can see the mining drill is now in operation. It's going to start to kind of sweep its way across to this right corner over here, bottom right corner. And this is where it's going to actually begin its process. Now, if there's lava, I think if I read correctly, because I've actually been very fortunate with my quarries, if there's lava or water, you'll have to go down and fill the blocks in to keep the lava and water from going, because the quarry can't go through it. And now we can see the quarry is starting to pull out materials. And if we look at our chest, we're getting a solid line. And we can look in there and it's filling right on up. Now these quarries can be run off steam engines, however you'll need quite a deal. With this, with just 2 combustion engines, you can't even see. It just looks like a column of dirt coming out. And this thing will continue to run until it hits bedrock. Once it hits bedrock, you can safely disassemble the frame if you wish to, or you can leave it up. If you're on a server, some servers might require you to leave it up, where others may say you have to take it down and you will need to put up some sort of barricade around it. So that is the quarry, and it's wonderful operation. And you see we're getting a lot of materials. We're already at 64 dirt. We're going to have a lot of materials, and what are we going to do with those? Well, how about we build something called a filler? So the filler is the most basic machine for leveling out areas or building basic objects and structures. It's crafted with 2 gold gears, 2 dandelion yellow, 2 ink sacks. You will need a landmark, a crafting table, and a treasure chest. Now the filler will not work by just placing it. It doesn't predefine an area like a quarry does. So you will have to use your landmarks and predefine an area for it to work with. And remember, if you're doing 3-dimensional, you'll need to make sure that you do 3-dimensional as well. We'll do that now. There we go. Now as soon as we place the filler, all our landmarks will return to us. We can remove that excess block, and we're ready to use it. It's kind of a funky layout here. We have a schematic table here, our crafting table here. This is where your schematics are going to go. Any schematics that require areas to be filled in, you'll put the resources here, and then your inventory. Now, let's take a look at the different schematics you can use. The first schematic is called fill, and the fill is made with 9 bricks. And it's denoted by the dark color with the construction box. We turn on the engines and let it start. You're going to notice it's going to begin to fill this entire frame, from frame edge to frame edge to frame edge. And it will continue to do so until it's completely full. These will run off steam engines. However, you can see I'm using 4 to get some decent speed. And this thing will just continue to go on until it gets all the way up to the top. While it's doing its thing, we're going to talk about the next one, which is called clear. Now clear will use 9 pieces of glass, and it's denoted by the white box with the construction frame. And it does the exact opposite. It's going to clear anything that's within this frame barrier. And you can see it's just dropping the materials out. Now anything outside the frame barrier, like that 1 dirt block, will not get cleared. It's great for clearing out rooms, underground rooms, and for clearing out underground areas to make a big room. It's perfect for that. You can see our, let's take a look here. Our fill is almost complete. There we go. And you can see it goes all the way up to the top frame edge here. And that's what the fill does. So the next one is something called level. So you want to clear an area. Let's say you have found the perfect place. You're between jungle, you're between sand and you have a great water source. So you want to clear out, flatten that area for your building. So try using the level for that purpose. When you use level, it's going to be 3 bricks with 3 glass over top of it. And it'll be 50-50 here. 50 white, 50 dark gray. And what it will do is it's going to clear anything that is at this frame or higher, and it's going to fill any area that is on this block or lower, not up to the frame. It's actually the block underneath the frame is the level point. So when you place this, make sure that you get your level completely right. That's exactly where you want your the level of your land to be. So we start it up. It's going to start by filling in the lower levels first. Once it fills in the lower levels, it's going to turn its attention to anything at the bar and above and clear that area out, like you see it doing. And this will go all the way up to the sky. It doesn't matter how high it is. Whereas this one, it's limited to whatever's inside that frame. So next time we're going to talk about, I call it the room. And it's 8 pieces of brick drawn like a furnace. And you'll see that it's a dark gray with a light gray area. The room is kind of nice. You clear out a big area with your, say for example, you clear out a big area underground and you don't want to go around putting up the walls and the ceiling yourself. So you can use this one. It's called the room. And the way the room works, we'll stand inside here and let it do its thing. So the way the room works is it's actually only going to work on these frames. As you can see what it's doing right now, it's only building on the frame edges. So it's going to leave the interior open, which makes a perfect room area. Now, it will fill the area completely in. And you'll have to make your own door, no matter what, but you cannot do that while this machine's running. If you break a block, it's simply going to refill it. As you'll see here, once it completes though, the room, you can break as many blocks. Even though I'm inside here, the machine has completed its purpose and it will no longer fill, or it shouldn't at least. We're about to find out. There we go, a perfect room, perfectly dark room. So yeah, see, I just made a door and it's not refilling it because the machine has finished its job. The next one we have is called the pyramid, and I don't know why, but the pyramid's gone. That's odd. So essentially the pyramid is going to do is, I don't even know if I can actually place markers down or not and make this work without breaking the blocks. No. Well, I'm sorry about that, but that was working earlier. It was all there, and I checked everything like 5 times before I went to bed. So the way the pyramid works, you have 4 bricks formed like this, and you make a pyramid, and it's basically going to fill starting here, and then it's going to make a pyramid going upwards. And great for making roofs, or if you need to make a large pyramid for your server, maybe you're going to do a massive multiplayer maze, or a survival map, like a pyramid maze. This would be perfect for doing that, setting it up. Finally, we have the stairs. The stair mod looks just like a normal set of stairs with bricks. Allows you to create staircases. Now, I've never actually used this myself, but I believe the low point is right here, and that's going to be the high point. But we'll find out here very quickly. Yeah, so this is going to be the high point of the staircase, and this is going to be the low point. And what it does is it allows you to build a staircase so you can quickly get from one area to the next. It just takes out the hassles of trying to build the staircase. It simplifies it. So that's what this does. And these are very basic. They're always going to be full solids, with the exception of the room mod. Now, what if I want to build stuff like this bridge? I want to take this dirt block thing and I want to make it into a bridge type deal. Well, to get started, we're going to first need to make something called a template. And that is 8 pieces of paper with one ink sac, and you're going to need a couple of these. They do not stack either, so be aware of that. Don't overload your inventory with them. Only make what you need. Once we have a template, we can actually make a new device called the architect table. It's going to require 2 gears, diamond gears, 1 template, 2 dandelion yellow dies, a crafting table, another landmark, and 2 ink sacs. So the way this machine works is it's going to actually take with a template, you'll use a template to do this, it's going to take a measurement and reading of this structure here, which I made out of dirt. And all it's going to do is say, okay, there's 2 blocks here, or there's, 5 blocks here, there's 2 blocks here, 2 blocks here, 2 blocks here, and so on. It doesn't care what material you use. And this is good for making, simple stuff like a bridge. You can actually make a bridge out of this. So to get started, and I've seen people in videos do different things. One guy started here, and he went over here, and then over here, and he started laid out his lines. Now that's fine, but the problem here is the way the architect table works, it's going to read from frame to frame to frame. So when you're laying this out, to do it right, and to ensure that you're always going to get the right fit every time, make sure you decide which one's going to be your front. We're going to make this the front of our structure. We're going to remove 1 dirt block, place a landmark. Then we'll come to the other side, remove the next dirt block, place another landmark. Then we're going to go to the back, remove another dirt block, and place a landmark. We'll lock them in so we now have the bottom plane established. Next, we're going to go up, and we'll do this from here. And we want to make sure that we get the landmark, so whenever it goes here and here, there we go. So you see that the energy is passing through all the blocks. We'll remove the excess for now, and now we're ready to place our architect table. I always like to go from the left. Some people like to go from the right. It's up to you. Simply place the table. You'll notice our frame appears. It's a little buggy shadow-wise, you see these, but they are connected and finished. Before you do your drafting, make sure you place any dirt blocks that you removed for creating this, when creating this table. So this is the interface. It's a very simple interface. You'll need a template. You can name the template. I like to name before I do. We're going to call this Land Bridge. Once you name it, just simply place your template, and you can see that it begins writing the template. And as soon as it's done writing the template, it's going to return it, and you can see that the texture looks a little different, but you see it says the name, Template Land Bridge. Now, to use the template, you're going to need to make another machine called a builder. And the builder is made with 2 diamond gears, a treasure chest, 2 dandelion yellows, the crafting table, 2 ink sacs, and another landmark. Now this machine does not require, you can see I've already placed it, and it does not require path or landmarks to be set out. That's because the interface has only 1 slot, and that's for your template. And that is where your information is stored for the landmarks. So you can see we have our exact same frame right here. If we supply power to this, and it will work off of combustion engines. This is BuildCraft 3, so we have a laser to do all that shows us do it that's working. In BuildCraft 2, you don't have the laser, it just simply puts the blocks out. And you can see this is running incredibly slow. But it's going to reassemble this, but we're going to use cobblestone. Again, as I say, it's great for making simple structures like bridges. Now, what if the problem with doing it this way with this system is that it will, when you get done with this section, you'll have to move the machine, the builder, down in all your equipment. There is a way to simplify that, and that is by making something called a path mark. To make a path mark, you're going to need a redstone torch plus cacti green. And to use it, it's a little different, but to use it, you're simply going to place your first mark, then you run out to where you want, we'll say right here, then right click, and it'll take it a second, and it's going to lock on. Now, you don't have to go in a straight line like I just did. We'll go over here. We're going to put one right over here. We're way offline. All the landmarks require straight lines, where the path mark does not require a straight line. So now you can create custom bridges. You can make long bridges that connect over a big span, maybe a big lake, and it goes around a mountain. Now, it's not precise, it's rudimentary. So whenever we take our template, we'll come over here, shut these engines off before we have a problem. We'll take that template out. We're going to put it over here. Oops. Put our need a builder. Now, place the builder down. There we go. And then we take our template, put it inside, and you can see our frame has already appeared right there. Now, if we take and powered this engine or this thing up, we're going to put some engines on it real quick, providing I can find the engines. There we go. Put this way. Take those out. We don't need those anymore. Take that out, that out, that out. Now, if we provide power to this engine, whoops, and start this thing up, what it's going to do is it's going to actually, as it finishes each section, at the end of the video I'll show you where it's at. Instead of it doing one section, then you have to move everything, it's going to do one section, and then it's going to go to the next point in the chain. And it's going to continue to do so until it gets to the very end. Making this a much nicer way of running making a bridge or any structure of that nature. Now you can also use the next item I'm going to show you, which is BuildCraft 3 only. There we go. And that should start. Yeah, okay. So the next item I believe is for BuildCraft 3 only. What if you need to move your house? You found a new location, everything's perfect, but you want to move your house and you don't want to have to go through the process of rebuilding it. Well, you can make something called a blueprint. The blueprint's made like the template with 8 sheets of paper and 1 lapis lazuli. The difference with the blueprint is, and you can see that I've already done this house up. I already have my house here, and I have removed items. I say experiment, because when I first did this, I kept getting world crashes, or saving chunks. And I had my industrial craft machines in here for the bat box. I had some of my EE2 items, my generator up here in the roof. I had red power lighting and wiring and Nicolite and all that in here. And every time I tried to save the house, or rebuild the house, it crashed. So I say just experiment with it. It wasn't a corrupting crash, the game crashes, you have to log out or close the game off, restart it, and then the blueprint you use is empty. So just kind of experiment around and play with it. I had covers and all that in here too. So anyway, I've already done this house. I ran it through my architect table. You can see that when I built put the landmarks in, I put them right on the edge. I left this block open because that's where my bat box would be, and I'd already moved this and went up to the ceiling. Now up here on these, the top is really relative. If you want to make sure it's exact fit, maybe you need to, it's an underground area, then I just bring it down 1 block. But here I didn't really worry about it. So after I built it, I went over here and I placed the builder down and I put my blueprint in. There's something different about this. When you right click on it, it actually gives you a list of items that are going to be required. And you can see I already have that list in here. So nice thing about it is it's going to remember your exact house as it was, all the materials you use, where everything was, all that. as I said, now the machines and stuff, I don't know which was causing the issues, and I just wanted to get it to the point where it was working and I'd have a basic structure. But I do know that your inventories, your treasure chests, absolutely will not carry. So make sure you empty out all your treasure chests. Make sure you empty out all your machines, get all your coal out, get all the parts and stuff out, and then build your town. Make your template. We're gonna let this run for a minute and you can see how it works. So you can see it's actually mirroring the exact layout that I had with the cobblestone, and it did work with marbles from Red Power 2. We do have a graphical glitch right here. Not to worry about that, that's just graphics, probably from when I logged out, but the frame is right through here and it's working right. But those marble bricks are from Red Power 2, so it does work with other mods, but some items will not pass through. And it's just about experimentation. Now, this, I believe, is BuildCraft 3 only, and that being the case, multiplayer does not matter. Now, if 1.3 comes out and they update it and they make it where it does work in multiplayer, be nice, please be nice and remove your old structure locations and before moving to a new location. Always follow the rules of your server. So, I said we'd come back and look at the path mark and how it was working, and you can see now we haven't moved our machines, and it's already 1, 2, 3, 4 structures through, and it's actually getting ready to start on its angles. And this is what I say, this is not going to be an exact science through here. It's not going to realize, hey, okay, so we got this base structure. How do we use that to make our next path? And actually, it looks like it's going to go straight again. So, that's the basics of it. This is all about experimentation, so please experiment and check it out and see what you can come up with. The last item I want to talk about, after you build enough items and you're going to have enough blueprints and templates, you're going to want somewhere to store these. And not in a treasure chest, because you can see they don't, well, these aren't going to stack anyways, but these don't stack at all. So how about you make something called a blueprint library? Now, blueprint library is made with 8 blueprints and then 1 bookshelf. It doesn't require any power, but it's going to be your best friend. You simply take a blueprint or template, put it here in this box, and you're going to see the arrow charge up, and it's going to return the blueprint. And you can see it actually has a link inside here. We'll do the same thing with the land bridge template. And it writes both blueprints and templates. There we go. Now we can take the blueprints and the template, we'll throw those away, and then we're going to make a couple of new ones real quick with NEI. Okay, a blank blueprint and a blank template. Oh, my eyes are getting old. There it is, blank template. Now if I wanted to get that blue house blueprint back, I can simply put a blueprint in and it's going to write it back to the blueprint. There we go. So now we have an option. The options of storing everything in one block, and this will actually carry from single player to single player games. So if you make another world, you can have all your blueprints from your old world still in the library. You can also delete, let's say we don't want the landmark or land bridge anymore, we don't like that, so you can actually delete it from the library. You can also lock them too. And I think the locking will make it where anytime you put a blueprint in, that's what you're going to get no matter what. So, that's it for this tutorial. The next tutorial, we had a little bit of BuildCraft 3 here at the end, And this is the end of the BuildCraft 2 tutorials. If you have BuildCraft 3 installed and you'd like to learn more about logic gates, please come back and check my next video, which I'm going to be getting uploaded right away, right after this one. We're going to be talking about logic gates and advanced key engine use. So please stay tuned. If you have BuildCraft 2 and you don't plan to check out the last video, then I hope that what I've shown you will help you. I wish I can go in a little more detail about, say, the path marks, which I believe these are actually BuildCraft 3 as well. So if you have BuildCraft 2, these aren't for you. But I hope that everything I've shown you helps you out, and you can get some really good designs going. I hope this gives you some ideas about the automated crafting tables and how you can use those to automate your facility and your recipes. Until then, this is Mr. Simple Majority signing off.